candidate for City Council, 7th District. Yakima is the westernmost district. Ms. Holly Cousins is in the studio. Good morning, Holly. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Holly.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here.
If you're in District 7, you're going to say, well, I didn't get a ballot. Well, of course not, because there's only 2 people on the ballot, and those folks are...
Whoa.
What?
Only 2?
Well, I didn't mean it like that. There are 2 very important people on the ballot, but they automatically move on to the general election.
That's right. So no sense in voting when it doesn't count on the primary.
That's right. All right. Well, Holly, tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome to the studio, by the way. First time for radio for you. First time in a radio studio for you?
I've been in a radio studio, but I haven't been on the air. I've done TV, but not radio.
But nothing like this studio. I mean,
no,
this is
of course
awesome.
not.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Anyway, Holly, tell us a little bit about yourself. Your time in the Valley, your work, what do you do, your family, stuff like that.
Sure. Well, like I said, my name is Holly Cousins, or like you said, and I moved to Yakima in 1992, graduated from Eisenhower High School in 1998, went to YVCC, graduated from there, and went on to City University of Seattle, got my bachelor's degree in marketing and human resources and business administration. Got 3 of them.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, then went on for a master's degree, got my MBA and a master's in organizational leadership. And as I was walking in graduation, I saw a big banner for their new doctorate program in organizational leadership, and that was kind of my sign, So I went on and got started my doctorate program, and I am currently what they call ABD, all but dissertation, in a doctorate in educational organizational leadership. It's a mouthful.
Wow. Yeah,
we can leave some tips on organization of this joint before you leave here. Hit you up for some ideas.
Really.
So let's talk about the job itself. Your understanding of the job of a city council person. How would you tell somebody else, here's the job I want to go do?
Yeah, so my understanding of City Council would be to establish policy, to develop an overall vision of Yakima, and the City Council would be someone that would appoint a manager for the city.
Okay, simple. Holly, people have a whole bunch of different reasons why they're running. Tell us why you got into the race.
Sure. Well, I've invested, obviously, many years in my education and leadership, and I think it would be impossible for me to sit back in such a historical time in Yakima. I don't want to watch someone who has no experience determine the fate and the future and quality of life for our city when I have so much to offer. My education and experience speaks loud, but my determination and leadership skills are screaming that together we can make Yakima better. So that's why I'm running.
All right. Well, let's talk about those skills and abilities. If you were to assess yourself, say, here's my verbal resume of why I should be, or skills and abilities that I have that would make me an effective council member, enumerate if you would.
Sure. So I went on to my education a few minutes ago, so I have that, but I also have been an accountant in the Valley for 18 years. So I have some So let me back up a little bit.
Sure.
So what put me through school was accounting. Never thought I would be good at it. Wasn't something that I was really super interested in high school, but I had to pay for school somehow, right? So I started a job as a receptionist at an accounting firm, and I worked right next to a CPA who taught me everything that I knew. Everything that I know, really.
What a great opportunity.
Yeah, it really was. And he taught me everything that I know, and I ended up falling in love with accounting, and that's really what paid for my education. So he taught me how to be fiscally responsible.
Holly, we fall in love with the Yakima Valley every day. Man, I'm telling you, just love this place. And we hope you do too.
Absolutely.
What do you think is the best thing about Yakima?
The community here, the people here. Absolutely. I think we have, I meet the best people every day. I'm a teacher at Yakima Valley Community College, and my students are wonderful. I meet people here every day in the work that I do. Meet you guys today. Everybody in Yakima is so wonderful. I've never met, I haven't met anybody bad in Yakima, to be honest, and I think that we have a great community here, and that's what I think is the best about Yakima.
Two-sided coin when you get on council. Besides getting to cheerlead for this town and meeting cool people like Lance Tormey, you have to deal with the challenges that face our community. What do you see as some of the biggest challenges that would face a future council person?
Well, I think our challenges are going to be our strengths as well, right? Two-sided coin.
Oftentimes.
So, yep. So I think that our biggest strengths for our valley are economic development, safety, and obviously bringing people back together in our valley. And so I think that's our biggest challenge and our biggest strength for our valley.
Some items in motion already. Get your take on these items, Holly. Your take on that proposed downtown plaza.
So I've knocked on just over 2,000 doors, and as it stands for the downtown plaza, I can't say that I am for it as it stands, because 9 out of 10 people that I've talked to are not for the plaza. And if I'm going to be a voice for my district, I can't say that I am for it if 9 out of 10 people in my district are not.
The recreational ban on marijuana in the city of Yakima, how do you feel about that?
I am actually for a repeal of that. So I think that we should be opening businesses. The state has agreed to legalize marijuana, the sale of marijuana, and I think that we need to abide by that. It's a constitutional right for states to govern their own state, and I think that we need to follow that.
Public art. We've seen a number of things around Yakima. There's a number of pieces of public art downtown, especially. How do you feel about public art around Yakima?
I think it's important. I mean, we see it in Seattle. We want to revitalize. We want our city to look good. I think public art is important.
Can you imagine, just a quick aside, when somebody said to someone, hey, let's put pigs all over Seattle and see what happens. You know, really? You can imagine the meaning of that. They're cool as all get out, right?
Oh, man.
They are. Or they've got bears in Klamath Falls. Like on every street corner, there's a different bear done out a different way. Yeah, it really gives the town an interesting personality, if you will. So.
Have you seen what they've been doing lately in Portland?
No. I haven't.
What are they doing?
Oh, my.
Do we want to know?
That's not art. Let me say, that's not art, but people think it is. You need to... We'll talk off the air. Anyway, continuing. They're just throwing things up on the electrical lines around that area. Things that shouldn't be hanging. City's role in economic development. How do you feel about that, Holly? The city's role in economic development.
Well, I think economic development is really important. I just think that we need to look at it a little differently. I think economic development brings jobs, you know, and I think we need to bring more jobs to the valley. So I think we need to look at it holistically. I think that we need to continue the talks about it. You know, the start of that would be the plaza downtown. I think that's a great project, but as it stands, I don't think it works for Yakima. So I think we need to continue those conversations and continue to bring economic development downtown and to the whole city of Yakima, not just downtown, but
public safety. We got a dropping violent crime rate. How do you feel about public safety in Yakima? Anything that needs to change? What needs to happen?
Well, I think that first we need to ensure that the public department of Yakima has the adequate equipment that they need to do their job, right? And then I think that we need to look at it again holistically and make sure that we are obviously giving them the tools that they need and recognizing that it's deeper problems and providing the programs to steer kids away from gangs, understanding that it's replacing black markets with the legal ones, and that takes the criminals out of the streets and gives money back to our citizens. So again, back to the marijuana law.
One of the you mentioned the historic nature of this opportunity, yes, and a chance for you to or the compulsion to not sit on the sidelines when this has been presented. ACLU case has changed things dramatically here, and all 7 seats up at the same time. And we're asking everybody about the appeal. Would they continue the appeal at this point, and what their understanding is of what may or may not come as a result of this Texas case that we're signing on as a town in support of. So just give us your what about the appeal and your thoughts on the ACLU case in general.
Well, I think it's settled law, and I really think it needs to say settled law. You know, we spent, like you said, $1.8 million on this fight already, and I think that we need to leave it. I think our utility taxes are high enough, and I think that we should just let the Texas case play out, really, and let them spend the money, let them figure it out, and leave our tax money alone. Because I can't endorse something like that and call myself fiscally responsible at the same time.
Fair enough. Now, the moment of truth. All of Yakima is putting down their bowl of oatmeal to listen to what you say next. And that is your invitation. Obviously, people who are looking for you on the ballot, as we said, to start this thing, you don't show up on this ballot because you have one opponent, Gunnar Berg. So this November, it's going to be Holly Cousins against Gunnar Berg. why should the 7th District of Yakima vote for Holly Cousins? Here you go.
So Yakima's at a crossroads where we certainly are looking for work and education, looking for safer streets and leadership, and I have the willingness to make the tough decisions and the desire to manage the city's money as if it was my own. And I'd like to restore integrity and trust and leadership to our council, and I hope that I would gain your vote, so I hope that you will vote for me in November.
Holly, very nice. We appreciate the time this morning. We do want to have you back after the primary. We're going to be scheduling interviews where we probably will bring candidates in for maybe an hour at a time and get a chance to ask some specific questions and poke around a little bit. So if you're agreeable to that, we'd love to have you back, and we wish you the best of good luck. And in your race, and voters in the 7th, don't freak out. She's really running. If you don't see her name, it'll be there on the next ballot.
Yes.
So when she comes to your door, it's all good. Holly Cousins, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you for having me.
It is 8:26, and we'll be right back after this on News Talk 1280 KIT.